Welcome to a very special edition of Vikings Film Room. We're doing a deep dive on some of the quarterbacks in this year's draft. So special, in fact, that we had to bring Gabe Henderson in to help out. And Gabe, we're going to take a look at JJ McCarthy. Now, with JJ, I have a saying. I heard a saying I think is perfect for him. It's where you say absence of proof is not proof of absence. Meaning, you've got a couple years of film. No, he wasn't throwing the ball 40 times a game, but if you take a look at the film, I think he's got what it takes to make it in this league. I
mean, when you look at the plays he was asked to make, he made those every single time. Only 40% usage rate, which means he only threw the ball 40% of all of Michigan's snaps.
And that's another unique, I think, thing about all these, mainly the big six quarterbacks that are coming out, is you have years of film to watch on them. All these plays over and over and over and over again. This guy, not so much, and it's a lot to do with the system, but let's take a look at what he does well. And on this first play, the one thing I want to point out is this is a play action. You don't see a lot of this in college football where a quarterback turns his back on the defense and then makes a throw. A couple things pre-snap I want to point out, at least one thing in particular. Look at the position of this safety, and it's the details that matter. This safety, you know you're getting middle open because you've got two deep guys right here, meaning there's no safety in the middle of the field. But this safety is positioned just a bit outside of the inside back. So he knows he's getting some type of, I think, cover two. If it was quarters, this guy would be aligned over here inside of number two, which would change the route, right? It would change where that receiver would want to go and what's open down the field. All that being said, he saw that pre-snap, and what's important is this. He takes it, turns his back on the defense. We're a play-action style offensive passing game. But what I love is when he makes this decision, the relationship between the receiver, who is right here, and this guy. This safety's turned, he's facing outside, he's looking down toward the sideline. He knows that the middle of this field is open. He is throwing this football. Look at this. He's already, before that thing is open, laser beam across the field. But that decision-making with his back turn, I think, are very important.
With his back turn, you talk about play-action passing. The Minnesota Vikings play-action passed 36% of all its pass attempts last year. When you look at this play and you see how he was able to turn his back, make a quick decision, and put it on the mark, that says a lot about how his game could possibly transfer to the NFL.
Well, you don't have to project. Right? With a lot of the other quarterbacks, you never see him do it. They're always in the gun. This guy's under center as well. So there's a whole set of footwork there and timing and all those things that he's already done. So when they say there's not a lot of film on him, I'm saying, I don't know. There might be the right kind of film out there for him.
And I think the reason why people say that is simply because you look at some of the other five quarterbacks in this Big Six, and you look at their usage rate. Those guys are being used 55 to 65% of the time. JJ McCarthy is only 40. So it's like, hey, well, if it's a quarterback-driven league, we need our quarterback to be able to make some of those big plays. Well, look, so Jim Harbaugh said he's a field general, and he makes the plays when he needs to.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, was the system the way it was because of him? Probably not. All right, another example. We've seen a lot in the red zone. Again, when you get in the red zone, what matters is relationships and exactly where the deep help is. This is where the deep help is. So what does that do? That opens up a lot of area on the outside. This corner, one of these guys has to be responsible for the flat. You've got yourself one-on-one there all day long. Again, taking the snap, top of his drop. He sees, he knows this cornerback now is the responsible party out here. It vacates this whole entire area, but watch the throw from the far hash. Not a lot of arc on it, but he puts it where? Back shoulder, where the receiver can make a play, because that DB was in really, really good position. So love that throw, love that decision-making process.
We talked about it before. Perfect ball, perfect route, beats perfect coverage every single time. This is a prime example.
All right, Gabe, you alluded to this. He made big plays when you needed him to. This is a 3rd and 10 situation. And so what's going to happen? They're going to blitz him. They're going to try to get after him. And let's face it, sometimes things break down. Sometimes you have to make plays. But watch the command, right? The awareness of knowing, all right, I'm getting pressure from my left side. What does he do? Takes the snap. Yeah, you have a free rusher. What is he doing? He's buying himself some time. He's not just getting rid of the football, throwing the hot, because that's what defense coordinators want. Throw, catch, tackle. It's 4th and 3. We get him the punt. He's rolling out, but what is he doing? He's not just throwing it to this tight end. He's doing what?
Go upfield. Go make a play.
Right.
Get the first down.
Exactly right, because he can see what this tight end can't see, and that's all this open field over here. And what's beautiful is we take a look at this from the end zone, you're gonna get a much better view. Here comes this blitz from over here. He's getting overloaded, buys himself some time, but keeps his eyes down the field. That's the key thing. Doesn't panic, breaks contain, says, let's get yourself down the field. Look at this touch.
Wow.
Boom, right there. A 3rd and 10 that might have been a first down turns into a huge play and a touchdown. That, I think, that's not a 3rd down play necessarily, I think, in the NFL.
Right.
But you're going to see that a lot on base downs.
And he's going to see a lot of pressure. That's how this play started. That's the reason why he got outside of the pocket. And when you look at JJ McCarthy against pressure last year, he was 2nd in college football with 13 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. So this is a guy that has played in some high pressure moments and knows how to get the ball out effectively when pressure is in his face.
Right, and you're right. You can't play on a bigger stage than what they did at Michigan. Now, another part of his game that I enjoy and have noticed is he's just smart, right? These are the small things that you want to see your NFL quarterbacks do. And we have this defensive end highlighted. Why? You're going to see right here. What happens? He jumps offside, right? You get the hard count in the red zone. What does that mean for quarterbacks?
It's a free play.
Free play. So what does that mean? Throw it deep.
Everybody go deep.
But it doesn't always happen.
Right.
You purposefully call the hard count in the huddle to do what? To get them to jump off sides. And if they do, we got to have a deep route. We got to have a deep option.
Explain why that's a free play, though. What does a free play mean?
Because even if the ball's intercepted, the offense has the opportunity to take the penalty and replay the down.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So nothing can go wrong, on a play like this. Nothing. You've got a free play. So why don't you just, if you're going to rob a bank, rob a big one. Throw it deep. And this is exactly a great throw. The receiver, you draw it up. It's not a route that beats anything. It's just him saying, you know what, we're going to throw it deep, throws it to the back shoulder, makes a great throw, makes a great play.
And there's a bunch of players open. Well, pretty much when it's a free play, everybody's open, right? You can, like you say, if you throw an interception, it's 1st and 5, but still, he knows that his tight end is 6'5", going against a defensive back that's 5'10". So I'm going to trust this mismatch and give my guy an opportunity to make a play. That is keen sense of awareness when it comes to the quarterback position. That kind of goes under the radar when you start talking about JJ McCarthy.
It's too bad we don't have a 6'5" tight end with a big catch radius, right?
Yeah. Or two.
Now you get me all excited here. So on this last play, this is one that I think most of the public has seen, but we're going to give you a little bit of a different view of this. And this is just him threading the needle in the red zone area where you want it to be. It's a crossing route. Yeah. He gets that ball right in between the two defenders, but I think we have to take a look at the end zone to really understand. And I have the tackle highlighted here because people talk about they ran the ball 32 times in a row against Penn State. Well, why? Take a look at this right here. How much time does he have to throw this football?
It's about
he is under pressure, right? They had an offensive line that was great at run blocking, but I think average to below average as a group, not picking on them, but saying they weren't great pass protectors. They had to run the football. They did what they did well. And from this angle, just watch this throw and where he places this football. That DB turns, threading the needle in the middle of the field. I love that, and I think the coaches, especially here, are going to love that about him too.
Love it. And to the point that we made earlier of passing under pressure, he had almost a 60% completion percentage under pressure with that pass blocking offensive line in front of him last year. So we'll see what that looks like. I'm sure the NFL offensive lines will be a little bit better, but having him being able to get better year after year and to put that on film, that says a lot about who JJ McCarthy is and what he can be in the NFL.
Well, JJ McCarthy may not have the body of work that some of these other quarterbacks are, but the leg that he's showing, a little bit of that body, looks pretty good. Keep an eye on JJ in this year's draft.